So I recently tried comparing the build modes in Paralives and The Sims 4. Paralives being a brand new indie game in its early access stage with a fantastic build mode versus The Sims 4, a massive beloved game that's been out for over a decade with tons of expansion packs and admittedly also a fantastic build mode. So today I want to try another experiment. We are going to be renovating an apartment in both Paralives and The Sims 4 today, but we're going to be furnishing each room according to a random color palette. I think this is going to be an interesting experiment because Paralives has the color wheel. So even though their build mode has way less options to choose from than The Sims 4, we can really take any item and turn it into whatever color we want, and we can be really specific about it. Whereas The Sims 4 has swatches set from a menu for every item. Last time I compared the two, I only used The Sims 4 base game, but this time I'm going to be using all of the items I have for The Sims 4, which is pretty much every single pack in the game. This time everything is on the table. Oh, and to keep it interesting, I'll be using this color palette generator, which I just found, for every single room. So whatever color palette we land on, we're gonna have to make it work even if the color palettes don't match around the entire house. By the way, apologies that I just fell off the earth for a quick second, but I was traveling in Scotland for a little bit. Yes, I did have a sausage roll in my purse at all times. Usually I'm there to visit family, but this time I got to do a little bit more exploring. So I went to the Highlands, I saw some adorable coos, watched Scotland play in the World Cup, drank lots of tennis, and ate even more sausage rolls. This is literally the longest that I've ever been away from posting on YouTube, and it feels a little bit weird. I definitely feel a little bit rusty, but we're back and we're ready to build. So let's first take a look at the apartment we'll be renovating in Paralives. This is the Stanton household. It has 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and honestly, it does need a little bit of work. The kitchen is a little bit run down. We've got a lawn chair replacing one of our dining chairs. We've got a super basic living room over here. The rug is a little bit off. Their bathroom is also a little bit messy. We have a trash bag just kind of out in the open. We have a bedroom here. This is for the young adult. There's some band posters in here, a guitar, and I want to try and match the aesthetic that we've got going on already. Like, this can be still a music lover's bedroom, but we're gonna fix it. Over here we have the parent bedroom, a little bit basic. They just have some clothes there hanging on the wall. And then in this room we have a kid's bedroom. So I think what I want to do is do the main room first so we can get a vibe of what's gonna be happening for the rest. I feel like it's boring to use the first one, so let's go generate. Let's do it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is gonna be our color palette for the kitchen and the living room. I also like this generator because when I hover over it, you can see the hex codes, so this is gonna be really convenient when we put them into the wheel. I'll link this website below, by the way, if you want to use it. So I'll just pull that to the side for a sec. Let's make this a little bit brighter in here, and I'm gonna delete all of their furniture. I might keep the kitchen cabinets, but everything else is gonna go. We're gonna get rid of all of the clutter here. I'll keep the sink, and I think I'm also going to keep the appliances. Okay, so far we're left with that. I think I'm going to start by changing the color of the floor, and I'm thinking for the flooring and for the wallpaper I want to go a little bit lighter because we do have some pretty dark colors in there. So I'm thinking if I grab this lighter color here, which I can just click and copy it, then I can input it into my color wheel and we can use that as the wallpaper. So I'm keeping it light, and then hopefully the rest of the furniture is going to be dark. I think I could change some of this so I have a backsplash too, so I'm gonna do that, but I just want my backsplash to go to about the fridge area. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my separator tool, and without the grid on, I'm just gonna draw that over to about here. That's gonna delete the wall temporarily behind, but then when I put it back, I'll be able to apply the wallpaper that I want just to that one area. I need to make sure I change the back so it's not different. And when I change the wallpaper like that, I always like to put a little column there to separate it. All right, now let's see what we can do about these counters. And so far I've come up with this. We're gonna do a little color drenching. I'm matching the doors and the cabinet with the wallpaper in the back, and I'm gonna keep my countertop neutral. In a challenge like this, usually neutrals are allowed, just as long as the main colors I'm using match the color palette. Okay, so right now I have everything the same color, but I am wondering, what if I changed up my wallpaper a little? This is that teal color brought in again, and honestly I don't mind this, especially since they match my handles now. And now I can really go in and use some of the other colors from the color palette. So I just changed up this funky vase so it matches, and I'm gonna put that there in the corner. I love this custom succulent plant collection I downloaded. We can change up the color of the plant pots. And then I also want to bring back some of the kitchen clutter that they had before. I think some lighting here would be good over the sink. A shelf in between here could also be cute. Then on there, we can add more cute clutter items. Now everything on there matches our color palette. And by the way, this is going to be the exact same color palette that I use for the Sims 4 kitchen and living room. So at the end, we're going to be able to compare. I feel like we could use some chairs like this in this dining table. Those kind of match the style we're going for. But which color do we want? Maybe the darker blue or even the purple. I'm going to try the purple, and then for the rug, we're going to be able to pull all of the colors. So I think I'm going to pick this rug. So like the lighter color, I'll pick from the lighter color in our color palette, and then I'll continue on picking the darker colors where they go. So we ended up with that. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger and I'll straighten it so it's underneath our dining table. And I feel like in a place like this, we need some fun light fixtures. So I'm going to use these two here. I'm thinking we could also put some fairy lights in this room. Ooh, this would be cute. I'm going to add this in the corner. Maybe that would look better over here and we could do multiple of them, but I'll make each one so they're slightly different. We do still need a little centerpiece, so I feel like these make sense. This house is just going to be full of funky decor. Okay, what else? We still need a garbage can. I could also use some art up here, so I'm going to use the top of the fridge, and maybe I could actually use this to create some artwork in my house. This is another feature I love in Paralives. Like, I just put the color palette into the game. Okay, so far this is our Paralives kitchen. Let's spin around now and do the living room. I think we're gonna do purple curtains right here, and we've got a little bit of a whimsical vibe happening. I want to keep that going into the living room. I think we could get this couch to match pretty nicely. I don't think we should do purple though, because I feel like we're gonna end up with too much. So I think I'm gonna try the darker teal color. That way we can still do our console table here, which I'm gonna keep as a dark brown, but then we'll add our TV. I'll add some more fairy lights here. In this corner, I'm gonna add some hanging plants, and our couch could also use some pillows, which now that I'm thinking about it, the color palette makes for a really good pillow. So I'm doing that, and then I'm gonna add some other funky ones that match. Okay, so our Paralives living room is done. This is what I ended up with. I used some of the fun lamps that I have in my game, and I actually changed the bulb color to match the color palette. So a lot of them are giving off a glow that matches the rest of the furniture. I actually really like how this turned out. The color palette was tricky to work with, but I feel like it works using this like fun decor style in here. Okay, I think what we're gonna do is switch over to The Sims while we have this one fresh in our mind, and that way we can really compare. So this is what we did in Paralives with our first color palette. Okay, so this is the apartment we're gonna renovate in The Sims 4. This one comes with The Sims 4 Lovestruck, and it definitely doesn't need a renovation as bad as the other one, but I picked this one because I feel like it's similar in size. So we have the one bathroom, and I changed the layout a little bit. So we're gonna have 3 bedrooms, and then we're gonna have the open concept kitchen and living room. This is the kitchen and living room at the moment. It's a little empty, but other than that, really not that bad. So now what I have to do is find items that I think look like the color palette, and the challenge is gonna be trying to get them to be as similar as possible without them being exact. So I'm looking at this wallpaper and I'm thinking this is going to be pretty similar to the teal color we were using. This time I think I'm going to get all new counters and appliances because I know there's some purple stuff that we can use. These are from the country kitchen kit and I feel like they're going to match the purple that we had pretty well. And for the counters, I'm trying to use the blue color filter to see if I can find something that matches. Ooh, okay, what about this instead? So I've got like a purpley wallpaper. I changed my appliances so they're more of like a light blue, and we keep the dark blue counters, but I'm gonna add some cabinets up top as well. By the way, I'm not trying to make these look the same decor wise. If anything, I feel like it would be fun if they were different. So the only thing that has to be similar is the color palette. I'm raising up this cute clutter set and putting this in the corner. Ooh, what if we brought in this tile from Lovestruck? And I'll just use it on this side in the kitchen. But now we have a ton of blue. We have to bring in some purple. One issue we're gonna have though is The Sims has something against their purple swatches. Like their purple options are not that great in this game, but I feel like we could get away with these chairs. I've been pulling out a bunch of rug options that I think maybe match, and I think these two might be the winners. Those ones are pretty good. I also found this one from Snowy Escape. I'm gonna put that underneath the table, and I feel like I've never seen this rug before in my life. It's from Strangerville. It's hidden under one of the swatches, I guess. Then for our couches, I actually found these two which match almost perfectly. These are from Life and Death, so I guess we can kind of wear our options with those, and since I don't have as much purple, I'm gonna go with the purple couch. Ooh, actually Life and Death has a lot of that dark blue that we need, and they have the teal too. I feel like we need so many more plants in this room. I'm gonna add one here by the fridge. I also need something happening here in this corner, so I was thinking either a mirror or even some big bookshelves over here could work. Okay, so this is how our kitchen and living room turned out in The Sims 4. I feel like it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to match the colors. It definitely did require a little bit more searching, but I am happy with how this turned out. I also really like the kitchen. I'm a bit torn on the backsplash though, but it does bring in the color that I need. Maybe it looks a little better if we don't use as much of it all over the wall, but regardless, this is how our kitchen turned out, and yeah, I definitely think I do like it with just that little bit of backsplash there. So very different vibe from the Paralives one, but let's go back and maybe do a bedroom next. Okay, back to our color palette generator. Let's go 3 times again. So 1, that is so similar to the last one, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're gonna use this one now for our bedroom. I think this is gonna be the perfect palette for the young adult bedroom. So let's go ahead and delete everything we have in here so far. So I'm actually wondering how much of this stuff we could keep. Like, what if we change up the swatches on the bed? I'm keeping the frame black, but I'm gonna play around with the pattern on the blanket. Like, we could go with the quilty pattern like this, or maybe something a little more fun. Ooh, the checkers. Let's do the checkers. I'm gonna keep the same kind of wallpaper, but I'm gonna change the swatch over to this darker blue. I think they can keep their posters except for the Among Us one. I think that one is throwing it off. This stuff can stay too, but I am gonna go in and change the swatch. Ooh, we actually can't change the guitar, so that's gonna go. And I'll replace it with another small clutter piece that I can change the swatch of. I'm replacing the Among Us poster with just a neutral one. Yes, we can change the swatch of the guitar. I think we'll go with the yellowy color and maybe the purple. That's actually terrible. What else? We can keep the bookshelf. I'll keep the desk and everything, but I'm gonna change the color of the chair, and I'll change the color of the desk here too. Okay, this is looking a little bit better, but I feel like we still have to add some stuff. Like, we can add some lights here. We can add an end table next to the bed, maybe with a lamp on here. I'm gonna have to shrink this one though. We could do another lamp in this corner. We can definitely use a plant here in this corner. Ooh, the records. We could definitely have some records here on the wall. I downloaded some of this old custom like gaming stuff, like this one, the Game Para Advance, and we have the Para Cube. None of these are functional yet. I'm sure they probably will be once you can actually use video games in the game, but they match my color scheme pretty well, so I'm adding those in here too. This spot is perfect for a big mirror, and there we go. This is our first bedroom in Paralives. Honestly, this one was pretty fun because we kept pretty much everything in here except for the Among Us poster, but basically everything they had is still in this room. The colors in this room and the general aesthetic, I feel like match the rest of the house perfectly. Like, how cute is this looking so far? Let's go see if we can do this in The Sims. The hair has just gone up for this situation. I kind of feel like it would only be fair if we tried to keep as much in this room as possible as well. So I was looking through the swatches for this wallpaper from Lovestruck, and actually I feel like this could be a close fit. We've got like this color here, a little bit of that darker teal, and this like yellowy green color. I'm gonna stick with that for now. I hate this thing from Lovestruck. I feel like it makes the bed look so cheap, and also they've pushed it into the wall, and I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm just gonna pull that stuff out a little bit, but I will change the swatch of the bed. I'm trying to get as close as possible. Maybe we can get away with this one. I do think I'm gonna get rid of the carpet though, and I'll change the swatch of the rug. I'm also gonna change up the paint over here. All of the swatches of these doors are also changing. We're gonna give that a little bit of a paint job. This overhead lighting is way too harsh for this kind of room. Like, this is a Lovestruck room, so I'm gonna make it a little bit more moody in here. I'm gonna raise up these fairy lights. I'm kind of just trying to find a way to liven up this sad canopy. It literally looks like you could kick it and it would just fall over. Okay, that is already so much better. I guess I can keep their little end table. And in the other room, I use these tiny living lights. I'm gonna bring those in here too. I need to bring in a little bit more purple, so I would love to have this mirror from high school years in here somewhere. Oh, you know what? We can replace this base game one. That's gonna go. And then in its place, I'm gonna add this purple one. Maybe we can change the color of this dresser too to a purple. See, for this dresser, I needed something in between this light swatch and this dark one. Like, it's not perfect. We already have this pink chair in the corner. I'm gonna change that over to blue. And I think I'm gonna move these so they're more so like around the mirror instead. And we'll add another one. I could even move the end table by the bed over here. We could put a plant on there. I think I might also put like maybe a hair dryer here. I would also love some curtains, and I think I could get away with these from Discover University. Ooh, for artwork in between this spot, I could add this picture from Dream Home Decorator. Also from Dream Home Decorator, I feel like this one matches our color palette pretty well. And then maybe in this corner, I can add a desk. I will say I've been loving building in Paralives, but I do miss this plant. I need this plant to be in every building and decorating game there ever was. I'll get a computer there, maybe like a little chair. I love the purple in the legs of this lamp. Oh, this is the purple I'm looking for too. So let's move this desk out of the way. We're gonna place that plant in the background, and then I'm gonna move my desk back so hopefully the plant will be where I want it to be. Okay, that's a cute little desk though. Since I moved my other end table, I could add these here. I'll add in some lamps, and I think I'm gonna change those over to purple lighting. I'll change at least one of the overhead lights to blue, and then I feel like it makes it not so harsh looking when you add some wall lights in there as well. Maybe to tie the two together, we could also add a guitar in here. Maybe also a microphone for a skill item. This could be a music lover as well. And actually, you know what? I really like how this turned out. I think we've gotten pretty close. Maybe it's not like 100% perfect exact matching the color palette, but like I think we managed to get pretty close. Plus, I like it a lot more than where we started. I feel like it fits the vibe a little bit better. It's not so bright. It's not so like cheap looking. I definitely like this room a lot better than the kitchen and the living room that we did. Maybe this one wins over Paralives. I don't know. I'd love to know your rankings too. Let me know which one wins each round. I think next we should move on to the bathrooms. And I think just to keep it consistent, we'll start again with Paralives. Okay, we're back at the color palette generator. I just clicked it once, so this is our first one. So let's go 2 and 3. Oh my gosh. We are not escaping the purple. It's pretty much the same color palette as my own background, but this is a bathroom we're talking about. Okay, we are finally tackling this bathroom. I think the only thing I'm really gonna keep in here are the essentials. So like the toilet and the shower can stay, cabinets and mirror can stay, but all of this stuff in the corner, like the trash and all of this stuff in the corner, that's gonna go. I'm also gonna be deleting the towel and the toothbrushes and the toothpaste. I don't even know where to start. Okay, you know what? Maybe we'll change the flooring. I'll keep the checkers. I'm gonna grab this light pink color here and add that onto where the white was. And maybe I'll take the darkest color on here, which is this dark purple, and I'll add that here as well. So we're gonna have pink and purple checkered flooring. You know what? I love it already. I don't think we can do the tile in here though. Like what color would we even pick? Okay, let me see if I tried to do the light pink on this tile. Let's see how that looks. Okay, actually I really like that too. So we've given them a fancy new tile. I want to change the color of these cabinets. This is where it's gonna get hard though. What if we did the dark purple on the door and like this magenta-y color on the cabinets? Let me see. I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. I'll keep the countertop as the same, but then I have to change the sink color, and I think that should be dark purple. I'm gonna keep the same toilet. I'll just give them a different seat color or something. And I changed my mind. This is way too funky of a bathroom for such a basic mirror. Oh yeah, we need something like this. I'll make it a little bigger, not too much. And I'm gonna use these lights here over top. I also think we have to change up our overhead light to also one of these. And I don't think I should change the color of the shower. Like if I did, I think I would do the dark purple. And why am I not hating it? I thought this was gonna be a disaster. I think over here I want to build like a built-in shelf. So I just added this column and I'm placing it right here. Then I could use one of the kitchen cabinets and place it right in there. And I'll just bring it out so it matches up to the wall. I could adjust this and make it bigger if I wanted to, but I think I'll just keep it like that because underneath here I could add another cabinet, but I want it to fit perfectly in there. So I'm gonna open up the toggle tool and I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller, basically just using this to adjust it until it fits perfectly into that space. Now maybe it would look better if I did bring this down to meet it. And now we've got a way better option for our bathroom storage. This way we're still gonna have that cluttered look, but it's gonna look a little bit more intentional. For the art in here, I'm gonna again use the color palette because like why does it look good? And like it's guaranteed to match because we've been using these exact colors in the bathroom. I need a little extra something in here, so I'm gonna add some plants. I'll give them back their little soap containers over here. And I actually think I'm gonna try and make my own towel holders. So I have this rail under health clutter, but then there's this blanket. I'm gonna place that here and then I'm gonna have to use the toggle tool to raise it up so it's gonna be hanging over the rail. Then I can adjust the width of it and like the placement. I can also change up the fabric if I don't want it to look so blanket-like. And there we go. Now we've got a little towel holder. I'm just adding some art here above the towels. And I'm gonna add a plant here too. How did this end up being such an adorable bathroom? I'm so excited to see what we're gonna be able to do with this in The Sims, but like I'm loving this one in Paralives. I feel like it's so unique. I never would have picked these colors in a million years for this bathroom, but it works and I feel like it still does work with the rest of the house. Whoever is living in these houses clearly loves purple, but this is our Paralives bathroom. bedroom, let's go see what we can do in The Sims 4. I won't lie, it is really weird going back and forth between the build controls of both games. But let's see what we can do here. Again, it is so bright. I'm gonna set my color filters to pink and purple and hope for the best. Oh yeah, this one is gonna be the hardest one in The Sims yet. I think my best bet is gonna be to aim for that light pink color. Like maybe that could work. I'm gonna change the color of the trim up top. I'll change the shower head so it matches the door. And this plant has to go. I'll keep the toilet. I am gonna give them some toilet paper though. I will say the colors in that color palette remind me a lot of the base game counters. So maybe I'll have to replace the sink with these. Oh my gosh, they're disappearing. I can't place my counter. I can't be doing this on a comparison video. It's not a good look. Okay, well what if instead maybe I had a cabinet and we go for a similar thing that we had going on in Paralives. This is where my sink can go. And then to match the rest of the vibe, I'm gonna add this mirror with the neon behind it. And I'm gonna change up the overhead lighting because I feel like it's throwing everything off. What if instead we did some fun neon lights? This seems like the kind of place that would have something like that. And it matches my color palette. I want to add some fairy lights, so I'm gonna add some up here. And then I'm gonna change the color of the bath mat. Then over here for a table, I'm gonna use this one from Lovestruck. I'm gonna add a lamp. I also want to add some toilet paper or a Kleenex box, just like, okay. Why are my things deleting? I'll put that there instead. I need just like some blinds or something to put over top of the window. We definitely need some more plants. I'm gonna raise this one up over top of the cabinet. And we could really use some wall art. This picture could match. Then we could hang some robes in here, some towels underneath the picture. We also need some stuff going on in the shower. So I'm just gonna add this shower caddy. And okay, I still think it turned out to be a decent bathroom. In terms of the challenge, I think it still does match the color palette. However, I was much more limited here. On the plus side, I used some items in here that I wouldn't normally use, but I think the point has to go to Paralives for this round. Okay, so we have 2 more bedrooms left in our Sims house and in Paralives. So back to the color palette generator. Let's go 1, 2, and 3. I feel like this is the same one as the other one. Let's do one more. Cute. Okay, this is a kid's room for sure. Back we go. So this is the kid's bedroom I currently have in Paralives. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get rid of a lot of this. Definitely getting rid of the dresser, getting rid of the end table. This stuff I'll just move over to the side for now. The picture is gonna go. I do actually really like the wallpaper though. This is a super light color palette. Maybe I'll take from this swatch. Ooh, that's a really pretty pale blue. I'm gonna put that all over. Then for the bed, I'm gonna try and take this like salmon color, and the throw blanket we can go blue. I think the sunshine rug would be fun in here, but I'll change it up to one of the colors. Ooh, actually it's really hard to see. So I'm just gonna do a regular rug like this with no pattern instead. I guess we could put this back over the bed, but I just changed up the swatch. We could do one of these fun shelves up here, and I'm gonna add some cute clutter. He's pretty close to the yellow in the color palette, so I'm gonna keep him. I think the cloud light would look cute in here. Maybe we had a few of them like by the bed. I'm gonna add some art right here, and then I also want an end table here by the bed. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, I need a dresser. I think I want to put that on this wall. Like we'll have it facing this way like that, but I think I'll change it over to the pink color, or even the blue could work. Then we could have like little picture frames up here. Maybe also some cute flowers, and we can change those over to the pale pink. I do need some more kid stuff in here though. I think I want to make a big teddy bear, and I'll just lean him against this dresser. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this room. Then I'm just gonna go in and change the swatch of everything over here. And I need more of the purple color. Now I just have to rearrange this stuff, and I feel like changing the swatches of those colors on those items changed the vibe completely. This actually really makes me want to try the random aesthetic and color challenge that I normally do on this channel, but like in Paralives. I need something back here on this wall, so I'm thinking we could do like a bookshelf wall, and I'll move the easel in front, and we could do a mirror in this corner. Maybe even a big one there like that. I'll add some fairy lights over here. And how adorable is this? It turned out so good. This was such a good color palette for a kid's room. I feel like it has the perfect amount of clutter to look lived in, but it's not like overly messy. Very, very cute. And now I want to see what we can do in The Sims. So back at the Sims apartment, I changed the hallway over so it matches. I will say both of them looking so cohesive so far, but I'm going to tackle the kids' bedroom right here. I think I'm going to do a pink carpet, and luckily The Sims does have a pretty good selection of pastels, but will they be exactly exactly what I need. This bed is pretty good. We're matching the yellow. We've got some of that pink in there. Ooh, we also do have the pastel pop kit. Ooh, this is a pretty item. I think this came from a recent event, which honestly I wasn't really participating in, but I'm glad I have that. Now I feel like I should change up my end table to something like this. The high school years one looks good. We could use the acorn light. High school years also has this pretty curtain and it has that purple swatch in there that we need. And I was also kind of thinking about the high school years egg chair because I know they also have some of those pastel swatches. I am sticking to the pink here a lot though, and I feel like I have to change it up. I need some more blue. I can add these pictures from the pastel pop kit. Let me actually open up the pastel pop. I want to see, I feel like there's definitely some things in here we could use, like this heart shelf. Ooh, these starlights up top could be pretty. I'm gonna line these up above. And I need more actual kid stuff. Like I guess we could add this guy. He kind of matches like the darker blue. Ooh, you know what? No, instead we're gonna use this dollhouse and hope it fits even when it's shrunk down. I think I'll have to rearrange a little bit just so it's not blocking the door, but that has all of the colors we need. I made some changes in here because I feel like it was feeling too cold. Like a lot of the swatches in here are looking almost white because the swatches are so light, but I feel like this helped. I changed the wallpaper on both of the walls to pink. I lowered the brightness of the whole room, but I don't know. What do we think? I love the egg chair. I love the high school years furniture. Definitely kids are gonna have more to do in this one, that's for sure. Even though I didn't give them that many toys, there's just more for kids to interact with in The Sims 4. It is still cute though. I am never against a pastel bedroom. So all we really have left in this apartment is an office. This over here is clearly the main bedroom, whereas in Paralives I have this main bedroom. This is the parent bedroom, and I haven't done anything about it yet. So I'm still gonna use the color generator here, but it'll just be for different types of rooms. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, and 3. Easy, done. I feel like I keep getting purple and like color palettes that match. Like we really won the generator lottery today. Okay, so this is what I did for the main bedroom in Paralives. One thing I'm loving about building in Paralives right now is that I haven't really felt restricted at all, other than the fact that there aren't as many items to choose from, but at the same time, I'm able to use every single item in the game. As long as I can change the swatch, I can use the item in this challenge. And another thing I really like is even though there aren't as many items, I'm able to make my own items a lot easier. Like this bookshelf, for example. Normally it looks like this bookshelf, but I shrunk it so it fit more underneath my TV. And just like the other rooms, I love this color palette. I feel like it turned out so cute. And look how cohesive the rest of this turned out, other than the creepy hallway, which like, by the way, there's definitely something going on here. Everything still matches somehow. Yes, we had so much luck with the color palettes, but I'm really happy with how this build turned out. This is what I did with this color palette in The Sims 4. I actually feel really confident about matching this color palette. I feel like there were a lot of options for me to use in here. This could be a streamer room. I tried to use a lot of the stuff from the Comfy Gamer kit. On this side, we just have a couch. I added some Love Struck lights. That wallpaper from Dream Home Decorator, I feel like pulled it together the most. So I do feel like it's hard to compare these two since they're different types of rooms, but like now I'm stuck. Here is the upper view of this apartment in The Sims 4. And now I'm so curious. I want you guys to pick your favorite room for all of them. It's so hard for me to pick my favorite apartment overall because when I open up each game, I'm like, oh yeah, it's this one. Like right now I'm loving The Sims. But when I closed Paralives, I was so confident that that would be the winner. So I'm gonna leave it up for you guys to decide. But if you guys like the video, if you like this comparison style of build challenge, let me know. Like I said in my build comparison video, it's all in good fun. I don't really have one preference of one over the other as a whole, but it is fun to see who wins these little challenges. If you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.